Alright, hello you two. Welcome back to some From the Depths. We're still in the campaign mode. I don't know where I am now at the moment. I think I'm underwater.
Receiving.
So, in the last episode we designed a helicopter that would be designed to help us scout out. I don't know how well it's going to actually work in practice. But we'll give it a try. What we'll try and do is we'll... Oh god, why are you moving so slow?
Receiving.
3 meters a second? That is not that slow a fleet. Let's play that quickly and just make sure it's going to go at the speed it's actually meant to be going at.
Receiving. You're in control. Moving now.
Oh, they run out of materials. Is that what it is? Okay, that would explain why they were idling. Right. Yeah, it's trying to make some sense of where we are at the moment.
Receiving.
But that would explain why they've got no resources at all. Let's build them a supply ship to go with. We did try to build an Orcus before. We lost it, but
Receiving.
that's fine. We could build another one and add it to their fleet. So. Don't actually know. Are they in built-in meter? Player? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're not tremendously expensive. Make sure it's fueled up a little bit and it can supply the rest of the ships while they travel. I don't know whether it's that weird flying variant we've made burning a load of fuel and that's why they're having trouble or what, but... Yes, maybe also build some helicopters to go support them. Yes, at some point I definitely also need to design a proper surface sprawler to fight the lightning hoods. I think we need a dedicated heavier ship that can actually withstand their attacks for a more extended period of time, because I'm not sure any of our craft can convincingly do that at the moment. It might even be tempted to just strip the guns off the Orcus, but it's really best it has something in case of attack. Decoys. It's actually using decoys, although at very low power. Yeah, it's just meant to look like part of the crane, but oh, they're using failsafe as a hook. I was wondering how they'd done that. Right, what's this? Split off.
Listening.
What's this? Oh, what? Yeah, how many resources do you have? It's restocking now. That should be enough.
Control yours. Moving out. Moving out.
Okay, fleet mode, not patrol. It's also global code 0. Because I can't. Yes, one of the other things I should mention that was brought up was commodities are effectively they're still resources, but you can also use them for diplomacy and things and access them from anywhere. And apparently, once we have 1,000,000 resources, we can build a refinery, and that will allow us to make the materials we're gathering into more commodities, effectively. Yeah, we're not fighting the white flares. In fact, they're on our side. Right, if we pull all...
Receiving. Receiving.
Oh.
Receiving.
Should be able to merge, right?
Listening. Receiving.
Split these forces into a new fleet.
Listening.
How do I merge? Why can't I merge them?
Receiving. Listening.
Merge.
Listening.
Because it's too
Moving
far
out.
off. It can't be merged into one. Yeah, we'll quickly get him into one place. We're being a little bit slow while we're doing this, but that's fine. Right.
Receiving.
I guess they were too far away. Right. Fleet name. Main fleet. Have a feeling I'm going to be doing this a lot.
Receiving.
Go up to there. Recover the supplies we lost and try and take that area. Okay, we can set what sort of things they are. Right, if we then also do play these vessels. Oh no, the whole fleet.
Receiving.
You know, how do we? Why are you guys not sharing resources between each other? Yeah, why are they not resupplying?
Listening. Moving out. Form up and fly with fleet. Receiving. Moving now. Moving now.
Yeah, they're not resupplying for some reason. What is going on here? One of these vehicles has, I guess, decided it can't move. Is it you that hasn't got any resources, apparently? Has it got, oh, it's got no access to them? Is that what it's... You've got fuel. Oh. Sorry about this, the camera. Why is it not showing between nearby crafts? What am I going crazy? Am I missing something? Don't tell me I've got to scrap the whole fleet and rebuild it. I'll do it if I have to, but that's going to be a right pain.
Receiving.
Hello. You guys literally have a
Receiving.
fully stocked resupply fleet and you just won't... Oh, okay. Okay, so it might be that I have to set what each ship type is. Creators will fill your resource storage. User types. Okay.
Receiving.
It is bouncing around a lot of zeros, but... Is it actually working now? Is it actually resupplying? No, that one is not.
Listening. Receiving. Listening.
Oh, you're a ship for
Water
one thing.
mode in service.
$21k, no materials.
Listening.
Oh, I see.
Listening.
It's so weird the way it's doing this. I don't know quite why it's not. Oh, you are definitely set to cargo, right? Cargo will fill your resource storage. Your surplus will go into user types. Create a... Oh, surplus resource targeted. Maybe create a type?
Receiving.
Oh, there's some... Oh, okay, that's interesting. There's some other, default vehicles. I really do not know why
Receiving.
those are not sharing properly, though. At the moment, I'm a bit worried that they're just gonna get to the location, have no resources, and just die. Which I really don't want, so I'm thinking I might even return to base, scrap the lot, and rebuild them, but I'm not sure why they're not sharing. Especially since it looks like they should be.
Receiving.
The Orsilus is definitely fueled, it's just not...
Receiving.
Just not, playing with the others. Well, that is...
Receiving.
Starting Fortress is working. Is it just that they're burning it too quickly? Anyway, we'll scrap the fleet and we'll rebuild it from scratch.
Receiving.
Don't know why it's being weird, but
Receiving.
it is apparently. Base is eating those. That's fine.
Listening. Receiving.
Do this. Teleport to it. Right, so we'll just build the key parts. We will have Awesomeness. Even beef up the construction systems even further. Yeah, construction paddles, I guess. Yeah, not really sure why this is here. I'll be back in a sec once I've finished rebuilding the fleet. I'll pause recording there for a sec. Update. Mid-rebuilding, we're having the same issues with everything, and I have no idea why. This ship, the catamaran replacement, has also spawned with no materials. Why does it we have no materials? I have no idea. We have apparently got 107,000 nearby. Well, now it thinks we have materials, but it's not moving anywhere. No, it doesn't. That's just the fortress. What is wrong? I really don't quite get what this is. Is this a case of... Do I need a storage box on board?
Receiving.
It's, what's it set to? Fort's set to user mode, but it's filling up the Orsilus.
Receiving. Receiving.
Oh, keep no energy at all. Oh! Is that literally what it was? Okay. Okay. That makes more sense now. Right. That's fine. We will do a couple of frigates because they were quite good. Or do we want to try... No, let's try some helicopters. Let's build a couple of helicopters. to at least try a new vessel. But I don't think of it, neither of these designs are combat proven yet.
Listening. Listening.
You will be the same. Keep normal levels of material and energy. Up at the moment. Up it goes. Okay, that's not too bad then. If that's what all the problem was, it was just that. We set the awesomeness to
Receiving.
mostly transfer energy to where it's needed. Ooh. Get the finished fly trap.
Listening.
Form over there.
Moving out.
100 meters. Just to make sure they don't collide into each other. Save campaign quickly now that we worked that out. Right, split them off into another fleet and we'll do what we wanted them to actually do originally.
Listening.
Merge these forces together into a fleet. They will be... Get rid of... The patrol's not even built. Right. Main fleet. Go.
Moving now. Receiving. Moving now.
Hang on.
Receiving.
Catamaran, you should be the flagship. Ostus, you can hold way at the back.
Listening.
Fly traps, you want to be flanking the flagship.
Moving out.
Oh shoot, yeah, I need to take the altitude as well, don't I?
Moving out. Listening. Moving out.
Yeah, about 165, that should be good. Right, there we go, that's a bit more like it. 11 meters per second.
Listening.
Flying forces is gradually gathering materials. Right. I'm going to try. Are they actually even... They might even maybe be salvaging the... Salvaging us. They're either salvaging us or they're ignoring us, but... Might well be salvaging our... Dead anyway. Clear that old awesomeness. It's fine. We'll have to recapture that zone.
Receiving.
Right, that's the other thing.
Receiving.
Yeah, everyone gets to eat. That's the whole point of having a supply ship nearby. I think they're automatically balancing out what resources we have on board that fleet. They are being burned, but not too badly. At some point we want to attack that base. I don't know how worried I want to be about those turrets. Sentry prototype suggests it's not finished. But there are functional turrets there. Okay, so we can capture this. We can at least make a start at actually properly pushing back against them. Rawhurst. Paddle gun? Paddle gun? What? That's a deep water guard vessel. I think they're trying to capture the Lightning Hood territory. Good luck to them. Interesting. The paddle gun's not worthless, but it's not going to win that fight, I don't think. Capture the Deepwater Guard. It's quite a strong craft, but to go team up with those guys and try to take me on, in which case we may have a problem. 60,000. We're gradually building up. Oh, a target.
Receiving.
Let us attack. Try out our new weapons. Our new lasers. Ooh, they're doing good. Oh, but they're the wrong colour. I just realised I never I meant to reset them to red. Yeah, we shouldn't be firing any hits from the railguns yet. I'm not sure. I'm not too convinced by a railgun's accuracy. What we've seen before. Anyway, let's go quickly recolour those lasers. Laser settings. Red. Yes. Glorious. Has she suffered any damage? No, so we can save the craft quickly. Partly red because I like red lasers, partly red because it differentiates us a bit from the green lasers of the lightning hood. Hey, look at that. We downed a spot. Down one of those, and a lot quicker than last time. I think the catamaran's main guns are going to work at any rate. Now that thing's down, the helicopter should be able to snipe it. Let's control ejecting. Ah. Lots of flak explosions. I think that's from the secondary guns on the catamaran. Excellent work, fellas.
Receiving. Moving now.
Mission progress. Ah. Ah, they set up another resource harvester. Let us attack. Let's actually put their AI back onto normal as well instead of fleet mode. It should be very easy prey because it's not moving. But who knows in practice? Oh, he's shooting missiles back at us. I forgot it was armed. Okay, well, the Hesh rounds are hitting. Those are spinning in midair. Oh, they're out of range. Oh, that's a shame. That must be 1,000 meters. The minimum range for the helicopters, or the current range for the helicopters, is out of missile range. No, it isn't. Interesting. Beam damage has dropped off, but it's still doing damage. There's scorch marks at our craft, but no actual sign of any significant damage. Oh, right, there's the torpedoes. I was wondering what the streaks were under the water. Because our torpedoes going after it. Can they even hit it? Yes, they can. It's in the water. Helicopter doing a big evade there. Not sure quite why. Oh yeah, how are the laser missile defences doing? Are they block anything? No, wrong ship, isn't it? That's the frigate with the LAMS nodes. Hey, we got it. Not so bad. And that's good because that'll be more supplies for that fleet. Stay there and operate there a bit longer. We could set up a base there as well, maybe. Yeah, if we could set up a base here, actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Of course, first we have to capture, so... Going into formation. Yeah.
Receiving.
Oh. Okay, there's an actual combat ship has appeared. A Hydrovolt.
Receiving.
A Hydrovolt and a trade fleet. Could deal with that one in a minute. Oh, well, let's put it into the battle too. It's clearly meant to be here. Right. F11. Idea what we're looking at. So, that's presumably the Hydrovolt, which has immediately snapped off a laser at us. What is a Hydrovolt when it's at home? Is a
Engaging now.
question I'm still asking. Oh, it's a submarine again. Oh, we've got torpedoes, mind you. Oh, and the lasers are doing some damage, even through the water. It's got some very high arcing VLS. I'm not sure what they're... Are they aiming for the helicopter? They are aiming for the helicopter. Oh. Oh. Big EMP blast, big explosion. That's not good. Oh, that took a nasty chunk off, and it's knocked out our torpedoes. Of course. Are we doomed again? We just lost another fight immediately. I think we have. Oh my god, those are some big torpedoes, right? I think we're making progress. Yeah, we've lost our flagship already. Great! We might need some more dedicated anti-submarine because they seem to have a lot of them. We are still getting the occasional hit off on it, but... Oh, that's annoying. I thought we might stand a bit of a chance against that because we were doing okay earlier, and then it's just suddenly like, oh no. No, we won't. How big is this Hydrovolt thing? How much of cost were we looking at? Oh, 250,000, okay. But this thing was a... This was practically a full-on battleship. Super annoying. Just lost all of that then. So Lightning Hoods were the wrong first opponent, but then again they're right next to us. Not quite sure what else we were supposed to do. Right. We maybe do need a battleship. I might have to even start planning on one. Or again, maybe a large submarine as well. Not so convinced by the helicopters at the moment. I might retire those already, even though they've only been in for a short time. I don't know that they even necessarily work all that well.
Moving now.
Oh, they're moving into catch us as well. Great. What do we have for resources here? 71,000. We have enough for like one catamaran. What do they have here? Atlas, Tempest. Well, Atlas is not a problem. Chiropraise. Those are tiny. Paddle gun, that'd be a problem. Dipole, dipole, and dipole. Okay, so 3 laser airships, a deep water guard airship, and a deep water guard surface gun. We have nowhere near enough resources to fight that. First of all, let's go to the Starling Fortress and let's beef up our manufacturing capabilities a bit on it. Or our mining capabilities, I should say. Oh, except we can't. Right. What do we do about this? Oh, okay. Only available when all your opponents are dead. So, we have to hold out for another hour, and they're about to try and capture us. One decent ship was the... Probably, realistically, out of those guys, was the,
Receiving.
The catamaran. So we could start by rebuilding that, I suppose. That might be able to do something, because that was doing reasonably well. Start repairs, and by that we mean completely rebuild the whole thing.
Receiving.
It is rebuilt.
Receiving. Listening. Moving now.
This might be a very short campaign. Not that I'll completely abandon the idea, but it might be a case that we end up we get wiped early and we have to do an early reset. But that's fine. We'll have a bit more knowledge. We'll build a bigger ship to start with. We'll maybe also have a quick look at the settings, because I think we started in the wrong place. I thought normally you would start down here against the Deepwater Guard, so we can maybe fiddle with some settings so that actually happens as intended.
Receiving.
What we might end up having to just do is make a bit of a final stand here and see how it goes.
Listening.
We could, of course, pull them in one at a time, but that feels like a bit like cheating, so... Let's just do a large battle. Everyone involved. Catamaran, I will be on board. Oh, spawn's facing the wrong direction, of course. And yeah, EMP'd almost immediately. Yeah, just too many of them to survive that. Good start. Yeah, and the surface base being bumped to bits. Yeah, I think we might be able to do an early restart. Build our fleet up a bit better for the next run. Oh, well, lessons learned. We might even start on building for a heavier type of ship. I'll just jump off now. Yeah, lasers are no joke, huh? Neither are EMPs, for that matter. Now they have to try and hit the radar balloon, which is... somewhere. Take a look. Did we at least do some damage? Not to that thing. Not to that thing. The airplanes, mostly. Yeah, so Deepwater Guard that we didn't even get to see. They fly things like this. This is what you're normally up against early on. It's literally held up by, well, turbines and balloons.
Receiving.
It's interesting that we haven't technically died. Do they have to capture the spot before we actually die? I never see what happens if you actually lose the campaign. Let's just see what happens if they finish us off. It takes a while at any rate. But yes, Lightning Hood's not a good starting opponent, apparently. I guess, like I say, next time we'll try and get the starting points it's actually starting as against the Deepwater Guard. Like we're supposed to be. At least like I thought we were supposed to be. I'm not sure what our alternatives really were, because I think the alternative was like the white flares, and I'd say they might even be worse. Well, maybe not worse, because I suppose their guns are different, but they're also just as fast, practically. Might even be quicker, some of their craft. And the Catamaran had a reasonable bit of damage against them. Yeah. Too bad, mission failed. Okay. We'll set up the new campaign, but we won't start it. We'll do... Should be okay, right. Alright, blah, 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 blah. Should we go launch? Oh, I see. Players aren't confident. You start. Also, it actually just changes your start location. Okay, we could do custom. Okay, so I think that's the combat vehicle difficulty. So if we go for 1, regular damage, regular enemy growth. Guess we can go for that. I don't know that I want to just go for easy though. I'd at least like the enemy to be launching their normal ships. We go for straight down the middle, right? 1.5. And we'll try that. And that should maybe be some hard... Jesus Christ, I've gone deaf. That should be maybe some hard crafts, but also... not too ridiculous. Right, and we'll go... Say campaign. S2. Right. Let's go into the designer. Now we know we can start with a much bigger ship than we expected. So let's start working on a... What have we got so far? We've got up to a catamaran. What would I consider that? A destroyer, I suppose. So let's start on, I guess, what I would consider a cruiser. Bigger than the catamaran, which is 71. If we go for like 150,000 resources... Could even use some of the game's pre-built hulls, perhaps? Are they too big? They're probably too big. That might be about right, I suppose. No, we'll go from scratch. Okay. So. This will be steam powered. We're going to go for quite a conventional design with this one. Conventional sort of warship. And sort of semi-realistic warship as well. A little bit faux steel striders-ish. Right. I think what the best way to actually shape this would be. Or is it best to do it with the... Tell you what, this will be another one where I'll do this build in stages. So I'll pause it, and I'll come back to you guys in a minute when I've decided what we're doing roughly hull-wise. Alright, and we're back. This is what I'm thinking of for the hull. It's ended up looking a tiny bit pirate ship-ish, actually, which is kind of interesting. It's not intentional, but yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking. Quite a deep hull, so it can fit some proper main guns in it below the waterline. Don't know quite what its armament will be. I'm going to guess 2 frontal turrets, 1 rear. Is the current plan maybe dual barrel? Could it be sort of compact? I want to be a little bit careful so as not to overload it, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I might put maybe even an internal armor layer of alloy behind the main metal as well, make it really tough, because we've obviously had some durability issues. So the ship's not lasting very well in actual fights. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. I'll catch up with you guys in a minute when I've moved on to the next step. Update. We have a power plant. We have a steam engine. It might be overbuilt, if anything, but we are generating 23,000 power pretty consistently. Burn rate. I have no idea, actually. It isn't telling me. Oh, 5 point whatever a second. Joules a second. 36, really? Let's go 0.2. I'm still generating max power. We could probably make this just smaller. Yeah, probably just make this quite a lot smaller, actually. We don't need tremendous constant output. We just need it to be able to build up to that output reasonably speedily. Into a second. Okay, that's a bit better. Pressure still builds up at a reasonable rate. Okay, we'll go with that. That's where the funnels will be, I should mention. That's why these two are piped up to here. We'll have a bridge in the middle, two exhaust funnels. I'm thinking 2 frontal cannons, maybe 1 rear, and maybe some torpedo launchers by the side of the bridge, and some anti-aircraft guns scattered about the place. So yeah, that's what we're thinking. I'll come back to you again where we've got the next step done. I've also raised the hull height a little bit more. And as you can see, I've added in an internal armor layer of alloy, which should mean it has reasonably good side armor. Stability is something we'll get to later on. Yeah, back in a moment. Alright, next step, I've added in an internal ammunition magazine, as well as the basic AI. And we've also added in 2 turret wells. It looks like it's actually going to be 2 main guns, and I might maybe have a smaller secondary mounted up on part of the bridge. Like a sort of exposed forward superstructure with a small forward cannon on it. Maybe even a Sea-Wiz. That could be a good idea. Could be a way to defend ourselves against shots. I think it's going to be kinetic cannons, this one, primarily for its main guns. But yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. I've also added a bit of a lead keel. It's a little bit awkwardly balanced in the water, but at least we know the hull's going to be nice and tough. So yeah, that's where we're at. And again, I'll catch up with you when I've done the next bit, which will maybe be the bridge. But yeah. One moment. And next step, we've added in a little bit of a placeholdery bridge. Rough shape. We'll mount a... As the sun goes down and I can't see anything environment. And I'll try and set this to daytime so you guys can see it. There we go, right. You guys can actually see it in the editor. We have our bridge. Rough shape for the smokestacks. I will tweak some stuff there. I've got some ideas for that. And... working on the front cannon. Like I say, they're going to be dual barrel kinetic guns, but they'll be firing high explosive, not like armor piercing kinetic. And I'm thinking anti-ship design, so this type of mantlet. These won't be dual mode guns. We'll have some anti-aircraft secondaries. Then we'll maybe fit small swiveling torpedo mounts. Small swiveling torpedo mounts maybe here on each side. And some anti-aircraft guns along the side. I'm thinking this might be a Sea-Wiz gun. Might do this as a bit of an Aegis-style cannon. Or a Sea-Wiz or something. But yeah, that'll be the idea. This will be defended by kinetic... its own automatic defenses. And we'll put shields on it. We'll put the standard plane shields. They might be a bit of a pain to set up. But they are very effective. And I want to make this ship quite durable. I want that to be a focus. It's not that expensive yet. It's got quite a high resource burn rate, I think. Even though I've set it down quite a lot. But... actual material cost of this ship is only about 30,000 so far, which should say a lot. It's basically a brick of armor. It is mostly guns in this game that actually cost the resources. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and I'll be back again in a minute when I design the main guns. Alright, and we have the kind of internal skeleton for the gun built. It's firing inertial fuse high explosive, which basically means high explosive that will detonate if it would try to ricochet. Ship is definitely wobbling a bit. We may have to do some work on the keel. But yeah, so the actual internal frame of the gun is done. I will do some reinforcing by adding a bit of an armoured plate at the top of the turret, so the explosions hopefully can't trigger the shells. And we will also add detection systems. I'm going to add a... what do you call it? I'm going to flip these around so that this bit is at the front. Oh wait, no, I can't do that. Yes, I can. Yeah, because I can go... I go like that, and then I go... one splitter. Gonna make a little bit of space for it. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. Fine, I can put it at the back. But yeah, so I'm going to mount a coincidence rangefinder in the rear of the turret. And it will be an armoured... Does it need to be an armoured type? It's going to be inside the... Yeah, we'll make it an armor type. It's going to be directly on the turret. That's probably a good idea. Receiver for communicating. Right. Now we need to put a bit of a casing around it, and I will get back to you guys in a minute when we've done that. Okay, that's what I'm thinking for the top of the turret. I actually quite like the idea in using the applique panels to get a quite like low profile turret. Fire rate's still pretty good, and we've got an armored rangefinder, so that should be at least somewhat resistant to explosives. And because the turret's lowish profile, it should be fairly unlikely to get a direct hit. And at any rate, there's nothing explosive on the top, so that should be good, I think. I've also put as you can see at the bottom of the turret, I put a cap to cover up the gap. And the only slight thing is, at the moment, if I don't put an extra gun there, the turret can actually rotate all the way around, which is actually quite a good advantage. Although, I kind of do want at least a secondary turret as well as the two main ones, so I might have to do thinking about that, maybe mount it higher up. I could potentially do a lightweight, truss frame sort of mount, up here, and then fit a gun up here above the deck. Maybe? I'm not quite sure, but again, I'll get back to you on that one. Or maybe even heavier mount sort of here-ish. I could even stack it on top of the other turret. That'd be interesting. I don't think we'll do that. But anyway, yeah, I'll get back to you when I decide what we're doing there. And yeah, see you guys again in a moment. Alright, new addition. Seawiz turret. It's on. We do have the slight issue of the ship is suffering some critical lean problems. I will have to do some modifications there. But yes, as long as it detects the missiles, which it isn't necessarily doing with the one I was looking at, yeah. It actually seems to be reasonably effective at shooting them down. It is 50mm shells, 3-barrel. Can't quite rotate all the way around. I will have to adjust it for that, but should at least cover the front end of the ship. The guns are firing, but of course they're very inaccurate because I haven't got proper detection rigged up. The coincidence rangefinder is good for distance, but it's not for bearing. We do have God mode on. I was going to say, I was thinking, oh, that seems to be resisting shots quite well, but oh wait, no, we do have God mode on. Ooh, that looked like it shot the back of the flat gun. I might have to I'll set a rotation limit on the front and rear main guns as well. But yeah, so next thing will be tweaking those and construction on the bridge, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, new update. Slight modifications made. The turrets have had angle limits set. They can rotate to a certain point and then they stop. And I've just realised they're probably all broken because I realised the vehicle had been built the wrong way around, so probably all my angle limits are broken, so I've got to redo those. I've slightly modified the Seawiz turret. A more slab-like face to it. That should make it a bit more resilient to damage. And we have a custom rudder using a spin block rudder. If you set the spin block to rotate based on the yaw, then you can build these larger ones using these large rudder parts. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. I'll fix the turret angle limits, which is going to be a pain because I thought I just had. But no, apparently they're all broken again. And I'll do some work on the bridge. We'll have an actual bit of a bridge. We'll have a radar mast. Oh, I've also added a keel. This sort of screwdriver-like design has worked well for me in the past. To keep the ship a little more stable. And it does need to be a lot more stable. So yeah, back again in a minute. Alright, and we're back once again. You might notice a few things have changed. Yes, so we have a more detailed bridge with some anti-aircraft guns. I'm going to leave the bottom bit just fairly simple. I think I'll just leave that plain. We have some anti-aircraft guns mounted up here, as well as the small ones down there. We have a proper radar setup, although we're going to need to improve our tracking ability. We've got cameras, we've got radar tracking setups. Should be enough to get a pretty decent all-round view. We have torpedo launchers. These are new. They're on a 3-second delay. And it does give them quite a good kick. They are also angle limited, so they shouldn't be able to hit the deck or anything. I've properly grouped up the weapons. And yeah, I think we're looking quite good. It's currently about 80,000 resources. There's actually not much more than the catamaran. I'm guessing those laser components must be quite expensive, considering that. Spawning a few dusters. See how we do against them. I've also corrected the angle limiters. Oh, I do need to put a altitude limiter on the torpedoes now I think about it. Yeah, you saw the Seawiz actually shooting down a missile there. do need to limit. Altitude limit 10 meters. Shouldn't fire at things that aren't above the water. It's tracking, interestingly, but it shouldn't be firing at it. I've also added a few decorations, as you can see, various railings and things. The anchors, they're decorative. They don't do anything, but they look cool. So yeah, I think we're doing quite well with this, and it's certainly looking a lot better than, than the early efforts. I think just taking us a bit more time to just relax and build has helped quite a lot. But yeah, two last things to do. The first is to add some shields. So we have some proper defenses. I think it's reasonably stable in the water now. And the other thing will be to paint it. So yes, I'll come back in a minute when I've done that. But I'd say we're looking pretty good so far. Alright, and that's the cruiser complete. The reason it looks like it's just been through a brawl is because it kind of has. I put it up against a Argonaut, which is a similarly costed Steel Strider ship. It's actually a bit more expensive. That's 86, mine's 80. To see how it would do. And it did win, just about. It was a bit of a slug-out brawl, but it did win, and there was no real damage to the internals, which makes me quite confident. It is sitting a little low in the water. I might cut some of the front keel off just quickly, but it is otherwise basically done. Yeah, that looks to be sitting a little better. Okay. So yeah, time to actually advance with the campaign itself, and we'll try and maybe start with one of these alongside maybe actually a frigate, I think, because the frigate actually seemed to do okay. That seemed to be a little bit more durable than the other ships we built. Whoops. Not if I drop it in front of the main ship, it's not. But anyway. So, to the campaign, as said, we've had to restart. Our first one did not end well. I think you guys... I can't even remember if that was in this episode or not. I've been recording this one kind of all day. Right. Yes, it'll do a meeting in a minute, won't it? How many resources do we have here? Like 1,000 and a bit. Not much, basically. It's fine. We will spawn a radar balloon. Right, we have to re-upgrade the manufacturing arms. Is the balloon complete? No. Yeah, I think we upgraded this thing with a repair bot and then forgot to actually save that as a permanent addition, so we'll do that quickly. And resources. Small amount of resource storage. We'll just use some of our commodities to fill this thing up. Yes, we'll start off by improving our visibility. Now, I believe I'll actually be finding this... Actually, I don't know, because we did the custom start. I actually don't know where we'll be spawning, but I assume we'll be fighting the Deepwater Guard this turn? This time, even? Yes, we're actually starting where I thought we would be. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's the little islands. I have fond memories of chucking missiles over the top of that island. Way back when. Right, you. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Right, anyway, the boat. We don't need that. That's not going to do anything. Right, we have some resources, so quite enough to start straight off with our new cruiser, but we could start with a helicopter. It might do a lot better against the Deepwater Guard. Yeah, why not? We want something to start with, and it'll be nice and quick, so it can scatter about a bit if we need to. Plus, it's nice and efficient. It does have quite an efficient engine. And if its weapons are not tremendously effective, like the railguns, sure, cool idea. I don't think in practice they actually really worked, so I'd be tempted to maybe swap them out for maybe just missile launchers, frankly. But yeah, we'll maybe try and get into our first fight, and we'll call the episode there. I've completely lost track of how long it's actually recorded for. It's always nice seeing these come together. Oh, we can upgrade these more than we thought, couldn't we, as well, because we've got more resources than I thought we had. Oh, it's really going to bash into it when it tries to take off, isn't it? It's going to be a pain. In future, I need to set this thing to hold until complete and also spawn a bit further away. Let's manually take over and just quickly strafe away. There we go. Yeah, it does seem to do that occasionally, just sort of drop and then recover. I know we have the resources around, so I'm going to do what I did before as well, and we're going to do resources cargo container, because one fits perfectly by that staircase there. Put some of our commodities onto it, but not all of them. We might still need more than I just put in there, though. I think we were actually quite tight on the cost. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. And our radar balloon is giving us a good view of things, so... even if it is still not done, apparently. And the flytrap will become our scout. First scout fleet. Resources. Make sure you actually have a few.
Receiving. Moving out.
Speed 30 meters a second, so we finally have something a little bit quicker. And yeah, let's capture some territory. I think that's Deepwater Guard there. Try and take a bit of their territory. A bit of unclaimed territory, I guess. Oh, why did we lose visibility? Now it's complete. We can save the vehicle as well. Let's save the radar balloon with the repair bot. So if it does what it always seems to, which is build not quite finished, it can then actually, you know, complete itself. Or repair if it's shot at during combat and only chipped. Now how far this thing goes up. Yes, what I might even do is... do we want to pause here until we... That's fine, we'll pause for a moment. I understand. Oh, I know what we can do. We could just tell it to move, can't we? Should be able to at least tell it to, like, climb to altitude.
Moving now.
If it even can move, which I have no idea.
Listening.
There we go.
Listening.
Not using any resources apparently, that's interesting. Yeah, it seems to fail every now and then. I don't know quite what's going on there. Maybe they...
Receiving.
Oh,
Moving
no,
now.
you should not be moving out of the resource zone. Absolutely not.
Listening.
Maybe we should set up a static radar station on top of one of these islands at some point. It's capturing's quite slow though. I do notice that. It does take quite a while.
Listening.
Low materials. Well, it's not using any apparently, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Listening. Moving out. Moving out.
25,000. So commodities are building up as well. And ideally, we'll try and start a fight with the actual Deepwater Garden. But Capado, I kind of remember it being a bit more like. Okay, so Orhus is the Lightning Hoods. Janwall, I believe, and Erika. Deepwater Guard? It might have changed. Ah, so that's White Flares. I believe, yeah. Onyx Watch up north of us. Who we could try fighting, but they have very tough ships, very brawlery ships. Our current fleet would not be best suited for fighting them. Mostly just because they're durable. They can take a lot of damage. You kind of need a quite strong punch-through weaponry to get through their armor. But, they're throwing cram shells back while you're doing that, so if you get hit by them a lot, it can hurt.
Listening.
That's about 40,000. We need 80,000 for our cruiser. Oh, yeah, it's very peaceful. We'll maybe do our first alliance thing. I think that'd be the point to end. Can meet now. Oh, right, yeah, because we haven't got any opponents at the moment. All our enemies, quote unquote, are dead because there aren't any. But no, we'll leave it so we can capture the territory. I don't know if capturing territories does anything by default. I guess maybe it improves your diplomatic score, I suppose. I also don't know if there's a faster way to capture, whether having more vehicles on a point improves that, or whether it doesn't actually make any difference. I genuinely don't know. I was thinking very peaceful, but then I'm like, yeah, wait, hang on. Yeah, right. I haven't. I'm not at war with anyone. I don't have to be worrying constantly about, oh, when are the Deepwater Guard going to start attacking me? Like, they won't yet. Now, whether we'll be seeing stronger ship designs, I don't know, because I did set it to somewhere between normal and hard. Right, meet now. Let's do the meeting. Right. I can join the Deepwater Guard against the Onyx Watch. Join the Twin Guard? That costs me. Okay. Join the Scarlet Dawn and the Twin Guard in a war against nearly everybody. For Nathal. Join the Onyx Watch and the White Flares against the Deepwater Guard and Lightning Hood. So we could do that again. That's what we did before, but this time, A, we're getting a lot of commodities. And B, we won't have to worry too much about the Lightning Hoods because they're a long way away. So yes, we're going to do that. So we now are against the... Is that what they look like? Am I in the Rambot? I always thought it was a remote drone. Ah, okay. Yes, so we're against the same two again, basically. Only this time, A, we have a heck of a lot more resources. Like, wow, that was more than I thought we'd get. And, B, we're going to be fighting the pirates first, so we should be okay. So, I will set off construction of our new ship, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.